Good evening to you. A report into 10 killings has severely criticised a Sussex mental health trust for failing patients in its care. The review found that 3 deaths had been predictable or preventable. Risk assessments were inadequate. There were delays in getting patients the right treatment. Staff didn't understand their powers under the Mental Health Act, and patients' families were not listened to. The review was launched after the death of Donald Locke, who was stabbed to death after a minor road crash near Worthing. Malcolm Shaw reports.
This is uncomfortable reading for Joseph Goswell, a report which says the violent deaths of his mother and father could have been predicted. Roger Goswell stabbed and bludgeoned his wife Susan at their home in West Chiltington before taking his own life too. Mr Goswell was mentally ill, but he'd been released from hospital.
The poor man that he was, screaming out for help, asking for help, us children pleading with them to do something about it, and they've allowed my father to go out and murder my mother. And there's no question, if they would have stepped in, then my mother certainly would never have died that day.
Today's report says 2 other killings by mental patients could have been prevented. Stephen Dunn, a paranoid schizophrenic, stabbed his neighbour Gordon Stalker to death, believing he was a witch who'd captured his soul, while Caden Smith killed another man while suffering severe delusions. Both had been treated by the Sussex Partnership NHS Foundation Trust.
What would you say to the families of the 3 victims of those killings who this review says need not have died?
Well, I would again apologise and say it's just not acceptable that that would happen, and that I would assure those families that we're ensuring that processes are in place that will ensure that that is minimised as much as possible in future.
The review looked at 10 homicides involving mental patients. It highlights failings in risk assessment and treatment and says professionals didn't heed family warnings. The Trust itself commissioned the report after the case of Matthew Daly, who stabbed Don Locke to death after their cars collided on the A24 in Findon. During Daly's trial, it was revealed that his parents repeatedly pleaded with doctors to treat his mental illness more seriously and even to section him. But nothing happened. The Trust says it's now put measures in place, including daily assessment of potentially dangerous patients.
What the report authors have indicated to us is that our staff should maybe have erred on the side of enacting the Mental Health Act as opposed to continuing to treat someone in the community.
Killings by mental patients remain rare, but today's report confirms more can and must be done to prevent them. Malcolm Shaw, ITV News.
In other news, police say they're taking no further action against a 24-year-old man arrested following the death of a teenager in Bournemouth. Jack Gudge, who was 17, died after a fight outside Tesco Express in Winton in July. 3 others, also arrested at the time, were released. Pupils and teachers from West Sussex have taken their fight for fairer school funding to Downing Street. Campaigners say schools in the county receive £44 million less than the national average. It's feared some will have to lose staff, increase class sizes, even close early.
We would like to have a little bit more money in West Sussex schools, because we're not getting enough money.
We haven't got enough money to fix stuff. Because I keep on breaking again and again and again.
Our schools are going to make serious cuts which could start to affect my education and my peers' education, which is definitely not what we want.
No one would disagree that there needs to be some differential between different parts of the country, but there has to be a bottom line of what's sustainable in terms of managing the provision, and we are getting to the stage where we're below that.
The dispute on Southern trains is escalating tonight, with news that train drivers will also be balloted for industrial action. Today, Guards began another 3-day walkout, their 12th day of strike action since April. Our transport correspondent Mike Pearce has more.
With 40% of trains cancelled, it was once again frustration for many, with buses in for trains.
It's horrible, actually. It's a nightmare, totally. So getting here is a problem.
Had to take the replacement bus today.
And how long's it added?
About an hour and a half.
What should have been, I think, a half-an-hour train journey took about two hours.
So you've now missed a flight?
Yeah.
How do you feel about all of this?
Well, I'm pretty upset, actually.
Services that did run were extremely busy. Southern say around a third of guards are now defying the action. The company is calling on the RMT to hold a referendum on Southern's recent peace proposals of no job or pay cuts and a £2,000 payment for the introduction of driver-only operated trains.
Well, I think it's about time the company stopped trying to bribe people on a principled issue of safety on the railways and keeping a safety trained second individual on a train. Just repeatedly offering a bribe that they know no one will accept anyway, it's just preposterous.
It's really unfair on our customers here. Our staff have all got jobs at the end of this. In fact, our staff have been offered a pay rise for the next 2 years. So, you know, we keep asking the RMT, we've made you a good offer. Please take that out to referendum and let your members have a say on how we bring this dispute to an end.
The next strike is planned for the week after next, but the news tonight is this dispute is about to escalate. The drivers' union, ASLEF, say they will now also ballot for strike action in the same dispute. Mike Pearce, ITV News, Red Hill Station.
Olympic heroes from the south have been honoured at a special celebration in London. Crowds filled Trafalgar Square to pay tribute to the record medal haul at Rio. Among the Olympians, swimmer Lauren Steadman from Portsmouth.
I don't think anybody realises how much it means to us to know that you get behind us. I mean, we train day in, day out, you know, for every 4 years for one event. So the fact that so many people come out, I mean, family and friends were there, but a lot of members of the public were there as well. And it's just an amazing feeling. It's quite overwhelming.
Football now. Brighton move up to third place in the Championship after an excellent 1-0 win over the Wolves at the Amex Stadium tonight. Sam Baldock got the crucial match-winning goal after just 14 minutes. Now, one of the best-loved couples in soap opera are to appear together in pantomime for the first time. Shane Ritchie and Jessie Wallace, known to millions as Alfie and Cat Moon, will be performing as Robin Hood and Maid Marian. Kerry Swain joined them at the Mayflower Theatre in Southampton.
Commercial Road in Southampton is a long way from Nottingham, and two small trees planted in the pavement hardly Sherwood Forest. But Robin Hood and Maid Marian seemed unusually happy. No sign of the tears and tantrums in their soap opera lives.
Oh. Get out of my way, Nan. Oh. I don't care if I'm 6 months pregnant. I'm going to kill you.
Cat, listen.
You nicked my money.
Our money.
You stole it.
Borrowed it.
Why?
At the Mayflower Theatre, the only tears, those of laughter.
I don't know what it's going to be like. All I can say, we're just going to have fun the whole time.
Yeah.
We're so in tune with each other. We know each other so well on and off screen. So to be on stage together again is going to be just great.
It's going to be lots of laughs.
So looking forward to it.
Yeah. Just me in tights. That's worth the ticket alone, really, isn't it?
Are you friends off screen? No,
Or
I hate
secretly
him. Are you sick of each
I
other?
hate him.
Oh, stand up.
Shane is one of my best friends, and if I don't speak to him for one day, I pine.
I know you don't.
I love him to bits. I love him so much, and I mean that.
Sorry. Cue the music. Everything I do,
No, it's true.
I do it for. Are we gonna do that as a duet? That'd be nice.
Robin Hood runs from December the 17th until January the 8th, in 3D with a big cast including acrobats and lead characters with true chemistry. Kerry Swain, ITV News, Southampton.
Another much-loved character now, Simon Parkin, with your weather.
From sleet to the slopes, driving through Europe. Eurotunnel the Shuttle sponsors ITV Meridian weather.
Good evening. Well, if you've been avoiding your hot water bottle recently, you might want to get friends with it again, because over the next few nights it's going to be quite chilly. By day, though, tomorrow, well, we've got some sunshine to look for.